My child, do not scroll away. Stop right where you are. Take a deep breath. I am speaking directly to you right now. I know exactly how heavy your heart feels at this very second. I see the heavy secret you are hiding behind that tired smile. I know about the massive burden you carry when no one else is watching. You thought you were just staring at a screen today to escape your reality. You thought you were just passing time to silence the noise in your mind. You thought you stumbled upon this message by pure accident. It is not an accident. There are no accidents in my kingdom. I orchestrated this exact moment for you. I moved the heavens and the earth to place this message in front of your eyes today. I brought you here because I heard the quiet cry of your spirit. I felt the exhaustion in your bones when you woke up this morning. I saw the tears you fought so hard to hold back yesterday. You are carrying a weight that is crushing your soul. You are walking around with a secret that is slowly suffocating your joy. I am calling you to stop running. I am asking you to stand still in my presence. If you stay with me for just a few moments, I will show you how to finally put this massive burden down. Listen closely to my voice. I see the nights you lie awake. I watch as you stare at the ceiling in the dark bedroom. Your mind is racing with endless scenarios of disaster. Your chest feels tight and your breathing is shallow. You are completely crushed by the weight of things you cannot tell anyone. You are hiding so much pain from the people you love. You put on a brave face every single morning. You step out of your front door and you pretend that everything is fine. You laugh at the jokes and you smile at your friends. But inside, you are slowly fading away. You are experiencing a deep soul tiredness. It is a fatigue that sleep cannot fix. It is an exhaustion that coffee cannot cure. Because the tiredness does not come from your physical body. It comes from the incredible effort it takes to keep your secret hidden. I know exactly what you are hiding. Maybe it is a mountain of financial debt that is terrifying you. Numbers on a screen that you cannot pay back. A financial crisis that you are trying to solve all by yourself because you are too ashamed to ask for help. Maybe it is a massive mistake from your past that haunts your memories every single day. A sin or a failure that makes you feel dirty and unworthy of love. A choice you made years ago that still whispers in your ear that you are a bad person. Maybe it is a deep trauma you suffered in silence, pain inflicted upon you by someone you trusted deeply. Abuse that you buried deep inside because you were too scared to speak up. You carry the scars of their actions and you blame yourself for it. Maybe it is a hidden illness or a physical pain that you endure privately. A diagnosis you are terrified to share because you do not want to become a burden to your family. Whatever the secret is, I see it clearly. You live in constant fear of being found out. You are terrified of the judgment of this world. You think that if people truly knew what was in your closet, they would turn their backs on you. They would point their fingers and laugh. They would abandon you completely. So you wear a heavy mask of perfection and numbness. You built a fortress around your heart to keep everyone out. You isolated yourself in a prison of your own making. You are so lonely in that dark place. You feel like you are drowning in a crowded room. You scream for help, but no sound comes out of your mouth. I see the numbness taking over your spirit. I see how you have learned to just survive instead of truly living. You think nobody understands the agonizing pressure of your daily life. But I understand. I have been watching you carry this entire mountain on your back. I have seen every single moment of your hidden struggle. My beloved child, I want you to hear these next words and let them sink deep into your tired soul. It makes perfect sense that you are terrified. It makes perfect sense that you built those thick walls around your heart to protect yourself. You have been surviving in a harsh world for so long. You have been let down by people who promised to protect you. I am not angry at your fear. I am not judging your exhaustion. Religion may have told you to just pray harder and put on a happy face. People may have told you that your sadness is a sign of weak faith. They are completely wrong. I do not ask you to fake your strength when you are in my presence. I do not demand that you have everything figured out. Your anger does not offend me. Your intense doubt does not make me turn my face away from you. I do not condemn you for being tired of being strong. I know that your strength has been a survival tactic. I know that your independence is actually just a trauma response. You are not weak. You are incredibly brave. But you have simply been carrying a burden you were never meant to carry alone. It is okay that you wanted to give up yesterday. It is okay that you feel completely empty today. I am not disappointed in you. I have never once been disappointed in you. When I look at you, I do not see a failure. I do not see a disappointment. I see a beautiful warrior who has been wounded in a silent battle. I see my precious creation who is in desperate need of a safe place to rest. You are allowed to feel exactly how you feel right now. Your pain is entirely valid. Your tears are sacred to me. I collect every single tear that falls from your eyes in the dark. I hold your shattered heart with the utmost gentleness. I am not standing here with a list of rules for you to follow. I am standing here with wide open arms. I am offering you a sanctuary from the relentless storm in your mind. I want you to know that your secret does not scare me away. Nothing you have done and nothing that has been done to you can ever change my deep love for you. You have been running from the truth because you thought the truth would destroy you. But I am the truth, and I am here to heal you. If you keep listening to my voice today, I will reveal to you the exact lie the enemy has been using to keep you chained to this secret. Listen to me very carefully right now. I need to completely change how you see this heavy secret. You have been looking at this massive burden through the lens of your own fear. You have been measuring your entire worth by the weight of your hidden mistakes. You thought hiding this secret was keeping you safe from the cruel world. You believed that building a thick wall around your true self would protect you from getting hurt again. You told yourself that if you just kept quiet, the pain would eventually fade away into nothing. But look at what this constant secrecy has actually done to your soul. It has not protected you at all. It has only kept you locked inside a cold, dark prison of your own making. It has isolated you from the very love that could heal your broken heart. Shame has been lying to you every single day of your life. Shame whispers in your ear that you are broken beyond repair. Shame tells you that your deep scars make you ugly and unacceptable. Shame convinces you that you are entirely defined by the absolute worst moment of your life. Shame screams that if anyone saw the real you, you would be instantly rejected and abandoned. But I am telling you a completely different truth today. You are not defined by the dark secret you are hiding. You are not the sum of your past failures and regrets. You are not the terrible trauma that was unfairly inflicted upon you. You are not the financial debt that keeps you awake and shivering at night. You are not the medical diagnosis that terrifies your fragile heart. Those things are merely chapters in your long story. They are absolutely not your entire identity. What you call a permanent ruin, I call a foundation for a spectacular miracle. What you call a disgusting flaw, I call the exact place where my grace enters your life. Your deep wounds are not a sign of your final defeat. Your wounds are exactly where my divine light is going to pour into your spirit. I do not look at your broken pieces and see hopeless trash. I look at your broken pieces and I see a beautiful mosaic waiting to be put back together by my hands. I specialize in restoring what the harsh world throws away. I specialize in breathing warm life back into dead dreams and exhausted souls. You thought I was ignoring your silent prayers. You thought I was delaying your much-needed healing, but I tell you now with absolute certainty, my delay is never a denial. Sometimes what you perceive as my harsh rejection is actually my absolute protection. I allowed you to reach the very end of your own human strength so you could finally discover mine. I needed you to realize that you cannot carry this massive mountain alone anymore. This brings us to this exact holy moment in time. Do you truly believe you found this message by mere accident? Do you honestly think it is just a random coincidence that you are hearing my specific voice right now? There is no such thing as random luck in my kingdom. This is a divine appointment that was scheduled before you were even born into this world. I knew you would reach this exact breaking point today. I saw this very day coming from eternity past. I knew that today would be the day you would finally be too physically and mentally tired to keep holding the heavy door shut. You are hearing my voice right now because the long time for hiding is officially over. The painful season of suffering in silence has come to a permanent end. I specifically aligned the chaotic events of your week just so you would stop and listen to me. I quieted the loud noise around you so you could hear my gentle whisper. I directed your tired eyes to this exact place at this exact second, because your precious heart is finally ready to let the burden go. Your spirit is finally desperate enough to try something completely different. You are in the exact right place. You are listening at the exact right time. Everything has been perfectly calibrated for your spiritual breakthrough. The entire alignment of heaven is focused entirely on you right now. Do not let this sacred moment pass you by. Do not brush this off as just another meaningless video on your glowing screen. This is the dramatic turning point you have been begging for in your midnight prayers. This is the ultimate answer to the silent screams you held tightly in your chest. But you must listen very closely to what I am about to reveal, because the enemy does not want you to hear this next crucial truth. There is a very real, intense spiritual battle raging over your mind right now. The enemy thrives when you keep your painful secrets buried in the dark. He multiplies his destructive power when you stay silent and completely ashamed. He uses your deep shame as a heavy iron chain to keep you bound to your miserable past. He is whispering his toxic lies to you right now. He is urgently telling you to scroll away and forget this. He is telling you that this comforting message is not real. He is telling you that you are far too damaged to ever be saved or loved. He is desperately trying to distract your attention, because he knows that you are standing on the very edge of your total glorious freedom. He knows that if you hear the rest of my words, his cruel grip on your life will be broken forever. He is absolutely terrified of the moment you finally step into my healing light. So he will use every dirty trick he has to make you doubt my unconditional love. He will suddenly flood your mind with vivid memories of your worst mistakes just to make you feel dirty. He will remind you of the cruel people who hurt you just to make you feel defensive and angry. He will try to convince you that if you expose your secret, you will lose absolutely everything you have left. That is his biggest, most venomous lie. He intensely wants you to believe that total isolation is your only safe option. He wants to keep you drowning in that crowded room for the rest of your life. But I am aggressively exposing his lies right now. I am warning you about his dark tactics because I love you fiercely and protectively. I am not warning you to scare your already fragile heart. I am warning you so you can clearly recognize the spiritual deception. The sudden unexplained urge you feel to turn this video off is not your own thought. It is the enemy frantically trying to steal your breakthrough right before it arrives. It is the enemy trying to aggressively pull you back into the familiar, suffocating darkness of your secret. Do not let him win this battle today. Do not surrender your hard-earned peace to a pathetic liar. Your old destructive patterns of running and hiding are waiting nearby to drag you back down. But you have a monumental choice to make right now. You can choose to stay in the miserable dark with the heavy, rusty chains of shame. Or you can choose to stay right here with me and let my blinding light shatter those chains entirely. Hold your ground firmly. Keep your tired eyes fixed securely on me. Do not give in to the sudden spiritual tension in your shoulders, because what I am about to do next will fundamentally change the trajectory of your entire life. If you are willing to trust me through this uncomfortable spiritual tension, I will show you exactly how I am going to shield you from every single attack of the enemy. I see the enemy trying to strike your fragile mind with arrows of burning panic. Every single time you try to close your eyes and truly rest, he shoots a fiery dart of intense anxiety directly towards your completely exhausted heart. He wants you to believe that the entire world is constantly plotting against you. He wants you to feel entirely exposed and completely vulnerable to sudden disaster. But I have already stepped completely and firmly in front of you. I am standing like a mighty fortress between you and the crushing judgment of this harsh world. I am your ultimate and impenetrable shield in this ferocious spiritual storm. You have been trying to defend yourself for so many long and agonizing years. You have been holding up a heavy and exhausting shield of complete isolation just to block the daily pain. You have built tall fortresses of silence out of pure survival instinct. You can put your heavy human shield down right now. You can let your tired arms finally rest comfortably by your sides, because my massive divine grace covers you completely from every possible side. The cruel enemy cannot touch your fragile soul when you are resting securely under my massive shadow. The loud and accusing voices of the angry critics cannot ever penetrate the thick walls of my divine love. When the haunting voices of your past mistakes try to scream at you in the middle of the night, my divine presence acts as a perfect and soundproof barrier. The harsh and unforgiving judgment of other people has absolutely no real power over your true eternal destiny. People in this broken world may deeply misunderstand your long and silent struggle. People may quickly and unfairly judge the complicated secret you have been carrying entirely alone, but their limited and flawed opinions do not dictate your permanent and beautiful reality. I am the only one who holds the absolute authority to define your ultimate worth. And I boldly say that you are fiercely and aggressively protected by the King of Kings. I am actively fighting the violent spiritual battles you cannot even see with your physical eyes. I am forcefully removing the toxic and dangerous obstacles that have been blocking your spiritual path for years. I am permanently silencing the cruel and tormenting whispers of the enemy that echo in your mind at midnight, even in the middle of your darkest and most terrifying secrets. Even in your most shameful and hidden moments of intense regret. My unconditional and overflowing love is an impenetrable and towering fortress around your very fragile spirit. You absolutely do not have to fight this exhausting and bloody war by yourself for one more single day. I am your fierce and unwavering protector. I am your ultimate and completely secure safe haven in a chaotic world. If you are finally ready to receive my absolute and unwavering protection today, if you are truly willing to let me fight this impossibly heavy battle entirely for you, I want you to take a bold and courageous step of faith right now in this exact moment. Type "God is my shield" in the comments below. Declare your total safety in the very middle of this intense and terrifying storm. Let the defeated enemy know that you are no longer standing completely alone in the freezing dark. Type "God is my shield" and physically feel the massive and crushing pressure start to completely lift off your tired shoulders. Now that you are safely and securely standing behind my unbreakable shield, I have a monumental and life-changing promise to speak directly into your weary and beaten soul. I promise you a beautiful and refreshing season of profound and undeniable relief. I want you to clearly visualize the heavy and rusty chains of relentless guilt finally shattering to a million pieces. The suffocating and invisible weight that has been sitting heavily on your chest for years is breaking apart right now. You are going to be able to breathe deeply again. You are going to inhale the fresh and sweet air of true freedom without the sudden and paralyzing panic of being exposed to the world. I want you to think about the incredible amount of energy you have wasted just trying to keep this secret hidden. Think about the sheer exhaustion of constantly scanning the room to make sure nobody knows the painful truth. All of that wasted energy is finally coming back to you. You are going to experience a profound and physical lightness in your actual body. I am actively healing the overwhelmed nervous system that has been trapped in a constant state of terrible fight or flight. I am commanding your racing and panicking heart to finally slow down and beat with a steady rhythm of complete peace. You have lived a terrifying life in the dark and cold shadows of your secret for far too long. But the heavy iron doors of your miserable prison of shame have been violently blown open by my undeniable grace. You are absolutely no longer a helpless captive to your painful and hidden past. You are no longer a terrified hostage to the terrible and unjust things you quietly endured in complete silence. I am pouring out a massive and unstoppable river of absolute and total forgiveness over your entire life right now. It is completely washing away every single lingering trace of your agonizing and toxic guilt. It is deeply cleansing the infected wounds that the cruel world constantly told you would never truly heal. You have falsely believed that total forgiveness was only for other people who were better than you. You falsely believed that your specific secret was the one massive exception to my boundless grace. But there is absolutely no sin and no debt and no trauma that is greater than my immense power to completely redeem. This total and complete forgiveness is not something you have to desperately exhaust yourself to earn. It is absolutely and unconditionally already yours. I paid the ultimate and unimaginable price so you could walk away from this suffocating secret completely free. I want you to vividly imagine the incredible and overwhelming feeling of stepping out of a dark and damp cave directly into the bright and warm sunlight. I want you to imagine the sheer and physical relief of finally taking off a heavy and stone-filled backpack you have been forced to carry for 10 long years. That is exactly and precisely what your imminent spiritual breakthrough is going to feel like. The agonizing and daily pressure to constantly perform and pretend everything is fine is completely and permanently over. The exhausting and draining need to maintain your fake and plastic smile is entirely gone. You are boldly stepping into a glorious and new season of beautiful spiritual transparency and absolute peace. You will absolutely no longer have to lie to cover up your deep and hidden pain. You will absolutely no longer have to constantly look over your shoulder in a state of paralyzing and consuming fear. The beautiful and undeniable truth is finally setting you completely and totally free from the inside out. My warm and healing power is flowing directly into the deepest and darkest and most hidden corners of your traumatic memories right now. I am tenderly repairing the completely broken foundations of your shattered and fragile confidence. I am breathing fresh and vibrant life directly into the dead and numb areas of your completely tired soul. The lying enemy desperately told you that your entire life was permanently ruined by this one specific secret. The enemy said you were completely damaged goods and totally unlovable. But I promise you today that your absolute greatest days of pure joy are actually right in front of you. New and beautiful and expansive doors of unimaginable opportunity and deep healing are actively opening for you this very day. Your incredibly long season of silent and lonely weeping is finally and permanently turning into a vibrant season of victorious and joyful dancing. I am taking the exact and painful secret the enemy maliciously used to try and destroy you, and I am completely transforming it into the absolute greatest and most powerful testimony of my redeeming and relentless love. Your immense pain is being powerfully repurposed for a glorious and beautiful future. But to fully and completely step into this massive and life-altering breakthrough, To completely and totally embrace this incredible and mind-blowing promise of eternal freedom, you must clearly and undeniably understand exactly who you truly are in my loving eyes. Because the enemy has violently and consistently lied about your true divine identity for a very long time. He has cruelly called you by your terrible mistakes. He has brutally labeled you by your deepest and darkest shame. If you keep listening closely to my voice in this sacred moment, I will clearly reveal to you the exact and beautiful name I call you when I look at your precious face. Let me speak your true and eternal name over your life right now. The cruel enemy has constantly called you by your darkest and most painful secret. He has consistently called you a massive failure. He has repeatedly called you a massive disappointment to your family and to me. He has tried to commit a terrible spiritual identity theft against your fragile soul. He desperately wanted you to completely forget who you truly are in my kingdom. But I call you my fiercely and unconditionally loved child. You are absolutely not your terrible and regrettable mistakes. You are absolutely not the crushing financial debt you owe to the bank. You are absolutely not the horrible abuse you suffered in complete silence. You are absolutely not the hidden physical illness that scares you every single morning. Those things are just heavy and temporary burdens you have been forced to carry in this broken world. They are completely separate from your eternal and beautiful soul. I am your ultimate and loving Redeemer. I am absolutely not your angry and waiting judge. When I look directly at you today, I do not see a broken and useless vessel. I see a magnificent and radiant light shining brightly in the overwhelming darkness. I see my own beautiful and perfect reflection in your exhausted and tear-filled eyes. You have falsely believed the terrible and toxic lie that your secret permanently disqualified you from my love. You truly thought your hidden pain made you completely worthless and entirely unlovable. But your massive worth was permanently and perfectly established before the very foundation of the earth. Your incredible value is firmly and deeply rooted in the great I Am. Because I am holy, you are entirely and permanently forgiven. Because I am infinitely strong, you are fully allowed to be incredibly weak today. Because I am absolute love, you are loved completely without any human conditions or strict rules. You absolutely do not have to perform for me anymore. You absolutely do not have to desperately try to earn your secure place in my heavenly kingdom. You are a fully accepted and highly celebrated member of my royal family. The shameful and agonizing secret you kept carefully hidden in the dark corner of your heart is entirely erased from my memory. It no longer has any real power to dictate or define your glorious future. You are boldly stepping into a brand new and totally restored identity today. You are no longer a terrified victim of your difficult circumstances. You are a brave and resilient survivor who is rapidly transitioning into a victorious spiritual warrior. Do not let anyone in this harsh world tell you otherwise. Do not let your own anxious and racing thoughts convince you that you are permanently damaged goods. You are entirely whole and completely secure in my powerful and gentle hands. Now I am giving you a very specific and incredibly gentle invitation. I urgently want you to bring that incredibly heavy and suffocating secret to me right now. I want you to vividly and clearly picture yourself walking slowly towards the foot of the wooden cross. Look closely at the heavy and massive backpack you have been carrying for so many agonizing years. It is completely filled to the top with your deep and toxic shame. It is incredibly heavy with your intense and paralyzing fear of human judgment. It is packed tightly with your profound and silent emotional exhaustion. I want you to take that dangerously heavy backpack off your tired and aching shoulders today. I want you to gently and deliberately place it directly at my feet. You absolutely do not have to carry it for another single second of your life. You have my complete and divine permission to finally stop fighting this lonely battle. You have my absolute permission to let your thick defensive guard down completely. You are fully allowed to be totally weak and incredibly fragile in my strong and waiting arms. Total surrender is absolutely not a pathetic sign of your personal defeat. Total surrender is the ultimate and most beautiful act of your profound courage. It takes immense and raw bravery to honestly admit that you cannot do this by yourself anymore. Give me your desperate and exhausting need to control absolutely everything around you. Hand over the deep and bitter resentment you quietly hold towards the people who deeply hurt you. Release the terrifying and crippling anxiety about your very uncertain financial future. Give me the terrifying medical diagnosis that keeps you completely paralyzed with intense fear at midnight. Let me permanently carry the overwhelming and crushing weight of your past sins and daily regrets. I am infinitely strong enough to hold all of your darkest and heaviest secrets at the exact same time. I will happily take your heavy and gray ashes and give you a beautiful and shining crown of perfect peace in return. If you are finally ready to let this massive and suffocating burden go forever. If you are truly surrendering your hidden and throbbing pain to me in this very sacred moment, I want you to make a bold and physical declaration of your newfound spiritual freedom. Type 1 Surrender it all, Lord, in the comments below. Let that simple and decisive action be a powerful and physical release of your immense emotional pain. Type 1 Surrender it all, Lord, and actually feel the crushing and terrifying weight permanently leave your completely exhausted body. Take a very deep and long breath of fresh air as the rusty chains finally break off your wrists. You have done such a beautiful and incredibly courageous job today. You have finally stepped completely out of the freezing cold shadows and directly into my warm and healing light. I want you to clearly know that I am always right here holding you tightly and securely. I will absolutely never abandon you when things get unexpectedly difficult again. You are forever completely safe inside my warm and fiercely protective embrace. But right now, I have a very special and divine mission for you. I urgently need you to think deeply about someone else in your specific life. Think about a specific friend or a family member or a coworker. Someone who might also be silently and painfully struggling behind their own closed doors. Someone who wears a fake and plastic smile every single day just like you used to do. They are quietly crying in their car before they walk into their dark house. They are desperately drowning in their own fierce emotional storm, and they falsely think nobody sees their agonizing pain. They are carrying their own massive and heavy secret in complete and terrifying isolation. I want you to become my specially chosen and anointed messenger today. I want you to take this profound and massive healing you just received and boldly share it with them. Send this exact and powerful message to them right now. Let them know that I have absolutely not forgotten them either. Be the divine and unexpected spark of hope they have been desperately praying for all week long. Your simple act of sharing can literally save their completely exhausted and breaking spirit today. Your long and completely exhausting mental battle is finally over. The dark and heavy secret is entirely out in the open, and you are still perfectly and unconditionally loved. Your highly anxious and overworked nervous system can finally slow down completely and safely. Breathe deeply and slowly into your tired lungs right now. Breathe in, my endless and abundant grace. Breathe out your deep and toxic shame. Let the gentle and steady rhythm of my perfect peace calm your racing and panicking heart. There is absolutely nothing left for you to fear in this vast and chaotic world. You are completely and entirely forgiven for everything. You are completely and miraculously healed from the inside out. You are completely and gloriously free from the heavy chains of your past. Close your tired and heavy eyes and gently lean your aching head on my chest. Rest securely and peacefully in my eternal and limitless grace. Rest safely and comfortably in my fierce and unconditional love. Rest now, my beautiful and highly precious child. I am already waiting patiently and lovingly for you in your bright tomorrow.